here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Things look bad. It looks like you're not gonna make it. And you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Put 'em on!
Don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Semi-final day today. Welcome to VP4TV. Albinario plays Vinces in a race to 13 to meet Spectrodon in a race to 21 racks final. Your commentator is Nimble.com Tactical Genius.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're rapidly approaching 2 p.m. GMT, and we've got the second last match in this year's 2023, or last year's 2023, Virtual 10-Ball World Championships. We've got the semi-final with Albinario and Vinces. Both of them are champions. Vinces having last won this tournament 4 years ago, and Albinario having won in multitudes of tournaments. The battle is to see who's going to meet Spectrodon in the final in that race to 21. Spectrodon is the one player who hasn't won any of these big events, but he's put himself in the hot seat. He's got the best chance of doing it. One of these guys is going to have to go this afternoon. And Vinces arrived about maybe 20 minutes ago, maybe a little bit less than that, but he's in getting a bit of practice. No doubt Albinario is going to show up at the last minute. And with that, I want to thank Albinario for liaising with me, asking me what time would suit best. The first two options didn't, but he managed to get Vinces to agree to go ahead this afternoon. That gave me plenty of time to get home from work. So we're all good to go. So the one big thing today, the big question is Albinario going to get some success or regular success on his break? Because that could be make or break for this match. Albinario's break has not worked very well at all throughout the tournament. We've all seen that. And, well, here's hoping for his sake that it will work for him and he can get a bit of consistency. Because I think Vinces is more than capable of capitalising on that. But Vinces was the one that made mistakes in his last match, just one too many. And that cost him. And in the end, Spectrodon ran out, I think it was, 17-12, something like that, in the hot seat match. So that's how Vinces ended up over here, having to play Albinario. Now, of course, Spectrodon having put Cobra and Albinario to the one-loss side, he may well have to face possibly Albinario again, but we don't know that yet. That's all going to unfold. Steve won't be here. Steve actually changed his schedule to cover other matches earlier in the week, and he found out at the last minute that this match was on today, and he's already committed elsewhere, so he won't be here. So I'm going solo this afternoon. Well, welcome to Hairpig, and welcome to anybody else. Well, I'm not in Discord, but if you give me a minute, what time is it? I'll just boot it up. Hang on. Right, I am in. I am in Discord. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear in it as well.
Hello.
But good morning. Early for you. Yeah, Steve is already committed elsewhere. He said, Albinario told me that he could have arranged this match for 4:30 in the morning, your time. That would have been 9:30 my time. Well, East Coast time, that is. It would have been 9:30 my time, but I would have been at work this morning. Good afternoon to Popman.
Who knows what time it is in Taiwan ever, really?
I still don't believe he's in Taiwan. I still believe he's from Colombia.
Colombia?
Yeah, I'm not Colombia. What the hell? He's from one of the South American countries, as far as I remember.
I don't think so. I've talked to him a bit.
I don't know.
I think he's Taiwanese.
Well, he'll need to send me his birth certificate and various other documentation before I believe it. Good afternoon. Did I say good afternoon to Potman? Good afternoon to Potman. Well, Albinario is going to have to get his brake working today. That's been his big letdown. And now would be the right time for that to start working. And Vinces needs to be as consistent as he can be. That's how he fell away at the end against Spectre Dawn. Just made those one or two mistakes, so we'll see if he can right that wrong. Welcome to Cobra.
When he's in form, he's a force of nature, Vince.
Yep, he's certainly got no fear.
He's got no fear, and when he's like, when he gets in the zone, he just flows around the table better than most.
Yeah.
Even the top players, he's got more sort of a rhythmic kind of flow.
Well, this room is about to go up, and there's no sign of... Oh, there he is. No sooner do I speak than he's arrived. So we are about probably 30 seconds away or so from this room going up. And the bad news for me is that the substitute player, Matt MC Clarkey, who came into the team 3 weeks ago, I think he played the first week, and then for the next 2 weeks he couldn't play. And then today I've had a message from him, he can't play today. The wife said there's something on. So now we're stuck. I've put myself in, although I don't want to. But that's 3 weeks he's not been here, and he's going to get booted out the door. Right, we're in the room. Vinces is in. Oh yeah, you'll never hear the end of that.
Oh, that's why you're convinced he's South American, because of the EZ thing. It's
no. I'm not. I don't recognise him with that name. I recognise him as Vinces.
Right, the EZ, like a lot of Spanish names end with an EZ, but he's Vince Z. It's not Vinces. Vince space Z.
Well, Albinario should be coming in. There we go. Albinario on the right. So you can let us know if you're hearing us all loud and clear.
Testing.
Welcome to Martin, whoever you are. That's another one that's never let us know who they are in VP4. Or if they have, I don't remember.
Strong lag there. They were both within half a diamond of the end.
Well, here's Albinario's first test.
Steve was on and on about whether he was popping the cue ball and what a difference that made. I really don't think that's what makes such a big difference. However, he did not get a lot of action out of that rack.
Ball.
He made a ball, but he didn't get a lot of them moving very fast, which is what you generally need with this randomized rack in order to try and maximize your chance of making a ball.
So one doesn't go past the 10, so he's going to be ducking away here.
Was that a soft break, Cobra?
I don't know whether it was.
Cobra said that, but I can't really tell the difference. My eyes aren't that good.
Well, he should have no problem hitting this. He's called it just in case, and that's excellent.
He made it.
Well, now he's got a duck.
Oh, and that 4 and 8 are an inviting hiding place, I think.
Yeah, this is touchy though to get there. He doesn't want to underhit it.
I'm betting on him.
He doesn't want to leave the bank either. Oh,
Well, this is another just in case call. He's not really playing this 3-ball, I'm sure.
He's coming above
Didn't
it.
quite get the line. Oh, did he get the 3 though?
Oh,
He did.
just
All
in its
right.
last breath. Well, that was a good call.
And that's why you call a ball just in case when you're playing safe.
Perfect example of that.
Because there's no disadvantage. Just in case you happen to make it and be on the 2, which he has, then you only get to take the shot if you called it.
Well, here's a dilemma for Vinces coming up straight away here. He pots the 2 and he gets out into the table straight on that 4 and punches the 4 round the table and blocks the cue ball behind the 8. And then, of course, the 7 ball's a good guard to prevent the 2 going in. But he's missed the 2, and I think that was the idea he had, because he's got himself on a perfect line there to stun that 4 ball around the table. But Albinario might be doing that in a minute.
Yeah, if the 2 had dropped, then I'm sure he would have been playing that shot next.
Welcome to Paul.
He's drawing this ball.
He's trying to break these. No.
He's trying to get position for a better safe, I think.
He needs to keep going, and that's no good.
Well, it's not good for that shot you called. He can bank it cross corner, or he can thin it and play the containing safe with the cue ball on the opposite rail.
He's got to get this wafer thin.
Chose the containing shot.
Well, coldest pillow. MC Clark, he's let us down. He can't play. Well, I'm only playing because Bill isn't around.
I don't think this is good. He can stop his cue ball there and bank the 4 ball twice across the table. Have cover behind the 8. Is he stopping it, or is he jacking up all the way to a draw shot? I guess he's stopping his ball for the cover behind the 8 shot. Will he call it cross side just in case? I don't think it's going to go.
No, he's not calling anything.
No just in case call. Let's see if...
So I don't know what he's doing here.
He's stopping his ball and banking the 4 twice across the table.
Nice.
Tried to.
Let the cue ball get away though. Well, this is as good a chance as you'll get for a start here, Vinces. 4 ball, 5 ball.
Who understands VP4 in the commentary. Thank you, Cobra.
Now, who would that be a dig at, I wonder?
It's funny. Funny that on a certain level, which is not relevant to his commentary abilities, Steve clearly understands VP4 better than any other living human.
Well, that was a shot. Get the breakout in the 10 and the 9.
He doesn't play the game, and that changes things. Yeah, that breakout was perfect. I didn't think he needed to do it, but he got a big reward from doing it. This run out got very simple and clear cut.
Well, this could be an opportunity for Vinces to open up a gap immediately here if he can get his break working right off the bat.
It is all about the break. Both these players are going to be running out their wide open tables. But Vince goes with his challenge room break of just leave the cue ball wherever the game puts it down and smash the rack, see what happens.
No joy.
No joy. There's something to be said for that, because you can't really track your results and change your break because your results have a literally randomized variable of how the balls are racked.
He's going to be in trouble here. No, he's got an edge, I think.
Popman, I think there are videos on YouTube of Steve playing pool in real life.
Yeah, at hard times. You'll see him on that.
Search him by full name on YouTube.
You'll see him on that really tough table, the TV table in hard times. They're tight pockets.
He's definitely a good player, and either he's a good liar or he's an even better player than the videos show. Because he's got a lot of stories of some pretty tough achievements in real life pool. I don't know if he's going to watch this back.
Yeah, Steve says he'll watch it later.
Okay.
So watch what you say about him, Cobra. Just mind your words. Now, has that got there? It certainly has. Well, here's a test for Albinario's jump performance, because he did play a couple of jumps previously, and I think he was reasonably successful.
I think it might be a little too close for the playing cue jump. A little too close to the 3.
Nice.
He does have to go over pretty much the middle of the 3, not dead center, but it's not just the edge of the ball. So I think he has to kick instead of jumping. Cobra hopes Steve has a sense of humor. Well, evidence indicates that he's fine with us talking crap about him in the chat all the time.
Uh-oh.
Good hit, but you don't want to hit that side of the ball. That pocket looms large.
Well, it is a chance for a 2-0 lead. So 2, 3, and 4 not a problem. Problem is going to be cleared here for the 7. So it's just how good he can get on the 6 to get to that 7. And then I can't see where the rest of the problem's going to be.
There are too many options for where to play the 8, so there's no real terrible place to be on the 7. So yeah, I think he just has to get from the 6 to the 7, and he should be golden. Now, yeah, he's going to spin over for the side, which I agree with. However, from this angle, this can go wrong. I think with the super draw stroke available in virtual pool, you can draw back into space as he has done.
Well, this will be 8 into the side.
Yeah, should be.
No heroics here.
Well, he doesn't want to treetop himself over the 10 on the 9. Let's see if he thinks about that.
He might be brushing the 10 here, is he? No, he's not. He's fine.
No, he can draw back or follow forward a little bit.
Now, you could have done with getting a bit straighter on this 9 ball. I think he's just going to nip it.
Fine. Yep. Use a little outside spin to come back off the rail.
You'll need to remind me who's playing again. This is the second semi-final tonight, isn't it? It's that Chinese boy and who else? Selby.
Which Chinese player?
Oh, God, what's his name? It is Selby that's playing, isn't it?
If you're struggling to remember, it's not the one.
Yeah, Zhang.
The ones I've heard of.
Yeah, Zhang Anga or Anga or whatever. Yeah, I mean that boy's a good player, but he's coming up against the wrong type of player when it comes to grinding a player down. Because Selby will do that from here to eternity. So he will. It's just a test of the boy's patience tonight. But he can certainly pop balls and make breaks. No doubt about that. I just think Selby will have too much going on upstairs for him. Well, Albinario has to respond.
Who's the Mark Selby of VP4? I wonder who's that match play specialist.
There's no one really.
I don't think anybody really.
There's no one really like that. Uh-oh. Ooh. No, I'm not going to do it because you better not be around later on, Coldest Pillow, because I'm going to put you in instead. If you're around now, you should be around. You should be around later on. Big task today, though. Oh, that's great.
Well, Albinario is looking like leveling. Or closing the gap, I mean. And let's see. Well, it'll be Vince's break next.
I'll tell you something, if Bill's got any sense, he better not drop into the stream. Or if he does, he better keep quiet.
You know, I don't think we've seen a missed ball yet this match. This has been a pretty good standard. We've seen unsuccessful safeties, at least one.
Well, I think that this is a this is a shot at the rack here. If he gets this one, which you'd expect him to get, and he gets good on the two, the 7-9 is a dead combo, I think. I mean, I've not even looked at it, but I'm pretty certain that it will be. Yeah, that's stone dead. So there isn't any problem here. And let me have a look at the 3. Does it go past the 5? Yes, it does. But you want to be pretty good on it. You don't want to be cutting this too much offline, this 3 volt. And that's pretty good.
Oh, no.
Oh dear. Well, there's a surprise.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I think he thought that would sneak in off the rail.
Well, the worst thing that can happen here, though, is that 5 ball might come into play. This cue ball might scratch in after the 2 ball here. This is not a guarantee. This, yes, he can hit it, no problem. But I think if he gets the line slightly wrong, he can get off that 5. Well,
Yeah.
5 didn't affect it.
I was gonna say that hitting the 5 from the 2 ball direction, I don't think the cue ball was ever gonna actually scratch there. It was always gonna hit that point.
Right, now, he's going to
rails
bank this
around.
onto the long rail. Is he going to cut it or try and duck behind the 8 and 10?
He's gonna cut it in. And he's gonna go 2 rails.
He used to have legs. He's going to land on top of it. Oh.
I think he can make it still. He can.
Yeah, he can just dink this in.
Oh, yeah, you can play it in the side from here. That's a good point. Oh, I don't think that's the pocket he was playing for. But it's certainly the one he made it to. So now let's look. The 7-9 combo is really not a challenge of any sort. You don't even have to work hard to control the 7. It's just going to stay there.
Now,
he wants an angle, though.
This 8 ball goes straight down table past the 10.
Yeah, you're right, it does. So he really didn't need the angle either. Although he has an angle. He'll draw to the middle of the table. Make sure he's got a shot on the 8, I think.
So Albinario has stolen this off Vince's break.
All square, as they say. What did Vince apologize for?
I don't know.
He left. I think maybe that when he missed that 2, he left him hooked.
Yeah, but I mean, it was never a problem that to kick in the 2. So here's Albinario's second break. He's still breaking from the centre spot. Or
see if he gets any more
slightly right
out of the rack. Now, in real life, you're playing the 4 and the 7 in the side pockets, but they never get close in virtual pool.
It's dry. Well, what do you do
it's
here?
Not going by the 7. but he can make it in the other far corner and use the 6 as a stopper, I think. I don't think it's actually going to stop. The cue ball will roll up towards the 7 off the 6, but I think that'll be okay.
Yep. It's still a toughie.
Oh, and maybe it will stop if he jacks up like this. See, I don't.
Oh,
Even if he made that ball, he was hooked on the 2. I don't think he should have jacked up there.
Yeah,
I think
he should have just let that run forward, let the cue ball run forward into the 6 rather than trying to do something with it.
Unless it was going to miss the 6 shooting it that way, because then he could have just ended up hooked behind the 6, and that wouldn't have helped.
Well, these are again. I think these are the toughest shots to play. He's using the rail, and he just and that looks as if it's holding a reasonable line. It's to stop though.
Whew, just in time. Yeah, very hard to control the speed on that rail first shot. It wants to really take off on you. The line is actually more predictable than I think maybe some players realize, but the speed is tough. Yeah, this is awkward.
Well, he's just threatening to land on top of one of these balls.
He's a little better than I thought. I think he can beat the 9, and so...
Yeah, he'll just go into the gap there. As long as he doesn't overhit it, he'll still have the cut in the 4.
Yeah, he's got to leave himself pretty thin.
Oh dear, he's hung the 3 though. So, the mistakes are happening.
Alright, well the 4 goes past the 8 easily, so I think he'll just dink this in, as you like to say.
Now, I think he can stun across the... Oh no, he's trying to hold it with the 10 there, I think. I thought he could run across towards the 10 and play the 5 back into the other corner pocket.
He could have. He would have had to hit it a little harder, which would have made the pocket play a little smaller. Not much smaller, I think. So, I think probably I would have done that, but this worked. From here, he should be going 2 or 3 rails around the 7 for the 7 in the upper corner. Two rails. Turns out he used a little check on that. He ended up a little awkward, queuing over the 8.
Yeah, he's interfering with that 8 ball. Yeah, that makes it a lot more difficult.
It really does.
It's good though. Well,
now what about the pocket point?
This is not quite so good. And this could come off the wrong way here. Yeah, and it's come back the way. He's still got the cut.
Okay, though. A little bit of left. This is like that 2 ball he hung up earlier, though. He's using right on it, actually. He'll go inside the 10. Oh my, no.
Yeah. Again. See, when you start playing that English at a slow pace like that, it's very easy to misjudge the contact point with what the cue ball's doing with that spin, and that's why it looks a terrible miss. But when you're putting that, right English on it like that, it's very easy to do something like that.
Yeah, he normally does that better than most. He plays virtual pool like real pool more than many of the players do. So he'll spin the ball around the rails quite a lot. However, that time he did misjudge it.
Well, that's a give up there. Albinario didn't pick any line there in that bank. So Vince says is going to return the favour by stealing Albinario's break.
Albi says close. It was very close. It was within 2 diamonds of the pocket that he was aiming at.
We're still waiting on daylight here. That little window, that gap. Vince says with a chance of doing it, he can come up with a break.
Vince says, I'm dragging you down to my level.
Well, he's certainly got a couple of balls. And, oh, where's the 5 going? I think he's okay.
Yeah, and the 1 passes clear into the side. The 8 goes. I don't see a major problem. We could see our first daylight if Vince can clear this up.
No, he doesn't want to be there, though. He doesn't want to be there.
The first problem, he can just roll this in. It should be pretty straight on the 5. Back diagonally opposite corner. And whenever you can get away with just rolling the ball in virtual pool, that really helps make the pockets play big.
Now, you know, if he's going to be dropping this 7 ball in and playing the 8 into the side pocket, he's got to get the right angle on this 8 ball. Not, I think that it'll make a major difference, because even if he has the wrong angle in the 8 and he runs into the 10, he'll still have it. He should have a shot in the 9, no problem. But ideally, he would want a good angle.
He's got more angle on the 7, and he might come around for the same pocket.
Yeah, he could if he wanted to. Yeah,
he did.
But well, this
that's
is going
down to what angle he had on the 7, I think.
This is just overhit a little bit here.
Yeah, if he goes forward, then he should graze the 10. He could scratch off that 10. I don't know. Going forward is great.
I don't like this.
Yeah. No, he's going to draw it instead to make sure he takes the scratch out of play. And that's well done.
It.
Now, any 2 rails he wants here. Looks like he's going to go to the right.
Watch the angle. He's going to go under it, or on top of it, however you want to look at it.
Not a problem for a player like him.
So we do have a gap. Now the pressure's on. Early in the match, but you've got to stay in touch.
All right, let's see. The 6 and the 9 are going to get nowhere close. Did the 2 and the 3 bank 4 rails around? Oh, the 2 went straight in the pocket.
Yeah. 8 balls gone. Shot in the 1.
This is looking pretty good. The 6 is a little touchy where he might have to play position off the 10 to the 7.
Well, the 4 ball. Let's look. The 4 ball. I mean, I don't think he needs. He would much rather be. He can't go really much lower than that 6 ball to get up the table. So this is a wee bit dodgy. This 6 ball. He's got to be careful with that.
Yeah, I think probably if he stops in the vicinity of the 5 for the cut on the 6, then he can use a little high left to just brush the 10 and go 2 rails toward the 7. I think that's probably what he would end up doing.
Yeah, I mean he'll just go forward with the 6 and use the 10 to come around the corner, I would think. But I think he's trying to get himself. Well,
he may have gotten straight enough that he's going to avoid the 10 entirely. Not sure there was a lot of benefit to doing that, though.
He's just got to be careful here. Yeah.
He did avoid it entirely. He got a little on the wrong side of the 7, but he can use the end rail and he'll be fine.
Well, a wee bit more work to do with the cue ball.
Yeah, I think he's got to go 2 rails. Either that or play for the short side. Executes the 2 railer well. I have trouble on that shot with VP4. that 9 from that angle with a firm low outside hit just cuts so much more than I ever think it's going to. I overcut that ball all the time.
Well, Albinario's done his part. That was a break and run, wasn't it? Yeah. And Vinces comes up dry. And the 1 passes a 2. So this is a great table for running out if he can just get this 1 ball out of the way straight off the bat. The 5 ball is going to be the problem ball.
But where the 4 is, if he just rolls the 4 in, then the 5 goes up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Also, he's got to make the 1 to start with.
No, the 1 ball was never a gimme. Now, not Albie, as Vince says, going to call the bank on this one. Yeah.
He can. I think there's a double kiss possibility in it. See if he gets
try to stay away from it.
Well, he just barely beat the kiss, but he did not make the bank, and he leaves a pretty playable carom shot, I think.
Yeah, I've been looking at the combo, the 6 ball just a wee bit further out. I think it still might win if he played the combo. But I think he's playing the billiard.
He can make it, but he has to cut the 1 away from the rail, which always makes it very tough.
He's ducking.
Honestly, I think that was smarter because the billiard was very makeable, but you're not likely to get a very good shot on the 1 afterwards. So I think he made the best call there. He called the 1 in the side.
Yeah, he's going to kick this off the rail, hopefully, in case it hits the 7 and drops in.
Oh, off the 7, right. That makes sense. Yeah. He made it in the other pocket.
Well, that's a missed call.
And Albie will gladly take this 2 ball from here.
So the shot in the 5 ball would be if he just dropped and killed the cue ball and left the 5 long down into this bottom right hand corner as we look. That'd be the simplest way of doing it, and he's perfect for that.
Straight in on the 4, and he'll have the 5 with follow to get on the 6. Now, angle is tricky here. He doesn't want to leave the angle where he's following into the zone behind the 8. He wants to be able to follow it not towards that danger zone.
Well, he's got enough angle, I think, to go forward off that long rail and just let it run out. In fact, he's playing it safe and keeping it well away from the 8.
Yeah, that's the smarter thing to do with the 6 close to the pocket like that. He had no reason to flirt with the 8.
Well, it should be a tied ball game again.
One assumes. Message has been sent to Vince.
I take it you've heard the saying, never assume.
It makes an ass out of
exactly
you and me.
No, never assume. We've seen crazy stuff happen in this tournament.
That is true. I'm assuming this 10 is going in, though.
Well, Albinario might have the chance of getting in the lead here.
Albie has had the more successful break so far.
Well, he's sticking with it. Let's see if the corner ball goes in again.
Yeah, it was the 2, or where the 2 is racked last time.
Nope.
No.
And he's dry.
Anything else?
And that 7 ball, I think, might just have saved him.
Yeah, that's where the love came from. was the 7. Where do you push out with the 1 ball so close to the pocket? I think maybe up in the corner that his cue is facing, where there's no cut on the 1. Is he going to use
Bill
the
and
3?
Clarkey will go down in history. Will they? For what?
He used the 3 to get there. See, this is smart. He made the 3 tougher.
Now, what do you do here if you're Albie? Do you play this? Because I mean, that you've got to nick this and try and use the 8 ball for cover and get the cue ball away out of there, or do you give it back? This is dodgy.
It's hard to keep the 1 behind the 8 and get the cue ball to go anywhere.
Yeah, I'd be giving this back.
Yeah, I might be also. Let's see what he's. Well,
jeez. Unless he gets a roll out here, and he hasn't. You know, that was always going to be the chance that you're going to leave that.
It really was.
Well, this is a dead weight roll. In fact, he'll probably end up near the 7 ball. He's still got to get the 1 in the hole.
If he ends up, with the angle, with the cue ball up closer to the 7, that's not a bad thing because he can break out that 6 and 10. Of course, he can't really get on the 3 at the same time as doing that. He's gone all the way around the table, bumped the 3 into a workable position.
No,
it's not even. But he could break it out off the 2 from this angle.
Well, he could go all out for the cut and hopefully get a bump. The only problem is that side pocket might come into play here.
And also, I don't know what his solution would end up being for the 6 ball and 10.
Well,
oh man, he hung it up again.
That
2 ball.
Well, that 3 and 5 are almost dead set. Not quite, but obviously it goes in the other corner.
The only offensive shots Vince has missed this match have been on the 2 ball. So maybe blue is not his color.
Well, this is another really tough one to get out of that corner and get anyone reasonable in the 3. Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you'd call this reasonable. It's certainly makeable. The 5 is everywhere you want to be. And are you going to get on the 4?
Well, you've got to really hope for a bit of a roll here and a bump either way that's going to keep the 4 in play. You're not really get much say over it. Trying to brush. Yeah.
Yeah, that was always quite tough.
I mean, I suppose he could, he could take the risk with that shot there because of where the 6 ball's sitting. The 6 ball's not going anywhere fast, and this is a touchy shot if he's going to go right side of the 4 ball and try and get down near the 8 ball. That's what I'd be doing though. I'd be taking the risk and trying to duck up table. I don't like going that way though. Yeah, this is a shot. Missed the 7 ball. That's the one thing he needs to do.
The scratch in the corner behind the 8 is also.
I think it's well worth the risk simply because of where the 6 ball is. Well, he didn't spin it enough.
Yeah, he hit it thin enough to take that scratch out of play, but soft enough that he didn't put the 4 in makeable position. So
now, what do you do here? Do you bank this 4 up the table and try and duck behind the 5 and 9? I think that's what he's doing.
Definitely what he's doing since he called the 8 with the just in case call again. I might come off the other side of the 4 very thinly here and try to get the cue ball back down table.
Well, he's come out and it's going to pass the side pocket.
That's not good.
Well, this is where you give it the old heave-ho, don't you? Or do you try and get on the 5? Do you try and get really lucky here?
Well, there's a small gap between the 6 and the 8 that he has to use to get back down for the 5. That is, oh, well, he hit it perfectly. Did he get the roll? He didn't really get the roll. But I would have been a little nervous about going for that small gap in order to try to get down for the 5. this was, well, that was the right safety, I think, but not the right speed for it.
Right, so yes, he can pot the 5, no problem at all. But what's he going to do with the 6?
Carry him the 10.
And more to the point, how's he going to keep it safe if he's going to leave the cue ball somewhere on that right side? I mean, he could be blasting this to try and spin up over towards them. I mean, you've got to hit this with a lot of force. But he could get a hit here.
Yeah, he could just go forward off one rail to break him out. Albie said BRB, and Vince said, "Okay, let me know when you're ready."
All right. Well, I would shoot if I was him.
Foul.
Yeah, he's down on his clock now. Now he's going to miss it.
I didn't catch it.
Right. Well, here's the.
I have options from here.
I mean, the 6 ball onto the 10 ball as a stopper. That isn't a problem.
I like hitting the rail before the 6
and just chipping the edge. Yeah.
And sending the cue ball running up toward the 9. Yeah, that's what he played. And he did it pretty well.
Yeah, that's.
Could leave the big bedhead cut.
Yeah, it's going to be a cut. He's going to go for it because it's off the rail. Quite well off the rail, so you'll fancy this going in.
This is one I don't think you'd see many top professional real players playing this ball. I think mostly they'd be ducking behind the 8. But in virtual pool, it's a lot more makeable. Albie says, "Shit, don't know what that means."
Something
happened with my view. Fascinating. Control U. Okay. What does Control U do?
That sets your camera back to the middle of the table if you've got the camera settings correctly set. And then you can zoom into where you want to go. El Matador says leave VP4.
Restart your computer.
Uninstall VP4. I think I got to leave the room. Well, why? See, this is why people don't use Save Zoom. If you use Save Zoom, you've not got any of this problem. People don't watch my training video to tell you how to set that.
El Matador needs to. You can't play that. I don't know what he means by that, but I don't know. Maybe it's more view. Kyle says I will be waiting, but he's going to get a foul. Please wait for them to return and the match will continue. Okay.
And that does sometimes happen with VP4 where the camera just does a loop on its own and you end up under the table or something. I don't know why it does that.
All right. Well, if Albie makes it back in the room and everything's okay, then I'm sure he'll pass the shot back to Vince. He's not restarting his computer, is he? I feel like he should be back by now.
Now, in terms of camera settings, if you're talking about motion sickness, if the camera's set to follow the cue ball and do all of that shit, that's what's annoying. I've got all of that crap off, and
oh yeah, follow the cue ball.
All of that stuff's off because that's really annoying. That's the first thing I get rid of.
Crazy setting. I can't imagine that anybody leaves that on. Albie must be restarting his computer. Oh. Yeah, he just logged back into VP4. All right, now pass the shot back.
which he's done.
Yeah, which he's done. Good. And Vince plays from there. All right, good. Albie looked around the table while it was temporarily his turn there to verify that it worked, I think. And we're going to have a bank on the 6. Oh, did he get it perfect? Not quite.
Well, he'll be glad.
Yes, he did get it
he'll be glad. He'll be glad that didn't go in.
Yeah, it was actually pretty close, and it would have been a problem if it had.
I'll show you. I'll show you my camera settings in a second. We'll see this. See this attempted escape.
It looks like he was playing safe the whole way there, but he was taking a risk that that bank would go in. In which case, whether he called it or not, it would be his shot.
Get your phone out, Martin, and take a screenshot of this, and then go and try those settings. Right.
All right. Well, the strong safety worked.
Right, I've got aiming at last distance. I've got it at 30 view for the live stream. I've got it action, do nothing. Replay, do nothing. Adversary down table. And I've got the camera speed at 100. That way it resets the camera very quickly. I don't have it at... See, if you have the camera any lower than 100, it then takes its time to go around and set itself. I've got that at 100. And if you ever want to reset your camera when you're in game, you just set Control and U like that. So if I go down here and I want to reset the camera, I just hit Control and U, and that resets it. Plus, I've got a second camera setting saved, like that one, which you can use the Y button. So you have to move your camera around to a setting that you like, and then save it. And then you use the Y button to go to that second camera setting. So anyway, after all that drama, Vince says is back in the lead and with the break.
And despite all the rhythm interruptions there, Vince was able to get that run out done after getting ball in hand off the strong safety.
Yeah, that could. I mean, I'm not stirring the pot here, but Albinario could be stirring things up there just to put Vince says off.
I don't think so.
No, Albie's not like that.
I mean, it could have had that effect, but he's not one to pull that move intentionally.
Oh, Albinario is by far the best all-round virtual pool player. He adapts to all games. Okay, he's not the best three-cushion billiard player in the world, but he's I mean,
because bad at it.
You know, he's not bad at it, and there's not many games that he's bad at. He'll put the time and effort into actually getting better at them.
I wouldn't say necessarily by far, because you know Cobra seems to put him to the test in tournament final after tournament final. But
you know, the thing is,
he does seem to have the best record.
Cobra wasn't around in VP3. Albinario was. He was in a lot of the other. You know, he went into a lot of other big tournaments, not just 9-ball and snooker.
All right, this
no.
Stick, I think.
Let's correct that statement. Semi-pro thinks he's the best. There's a difference between semi-pro is the best and semi-pro think he's the best.
At bottling. That's, a little shade being thrown here.
But fair play to semi-pro. He sent Spectre down last night. Beat him twice and only lost one rack. Beat him in the final 9-0 Friday night 9-ball. And that's a good little punch. A good little
Look at that
bump in the one.
He had a wide open view at that ball, and he decided to kick safe. That's a pretty strong move. You got to worry about players who do that. Got the safety.
Got to land on top of this one.
He's
Just like
playing
that.
the containing shot to make sure he doesn't leave anything.
Yeah, because this table's good for the run out. 3 ball goes past the 5, so if you kill the kill the cue ball, stop it on the 2, you're on the 3, no problem. Pretty certain the 3 goes past the 5. Yeah.
I like the idea of thinning the 1 on the left side, the other side, and sending the cue ball up behind the 3.
Now, is Albinario going to take the bait here, try and make this bank? Because it's an all or nothing shot if he does. It's off the rail, and he can make that angle for the bank.
It doesn't have to be all or nothing with the right speed. He could end up with cover behind the 10 or the 7.
Oh, yeah, he's not risking it. Well, somebody's going to take the bait, and I think Vince says he's going to do it this time because that's sitting even better.
It's sitting much better, I think. So he doesn't want to get behind the 10.
He's going to be really unlucky if he finishes there, I think. You've got to think your odds are pretty good. You're going to have a shot in the 2 if you get it.
I mean, just for the sake of argument, look at what he would have had on the 2.
Look at where he ended up. But look at what he's left Albie. I mean, you think when you play that bank, you think I've got to be really unlucky to finish behind the 10, and that's where he ended up. So
somehow, from that exact angle, the 10 looked as big as a basketball. I don't know why.
I mean, it's the only ball in that area of the table, and of course, the one thing you're hoping you don't do is stick yourself right behind it. Well, that's a nice play. Not a bad result as well.
Now this is more of a narrow edge of the 3 he would have to jump over to play this ball on the side. Will he try the jump? I don't think he's one to do that. I don't think he's
I think he's just going to try and push this dead weight to the long rail. I think that's what he's going to try. Yeah, I don't think he had many other options there. Now you've got to think who's going to be brave enough and try and get this cue ball away or get the 1 ball away and duck for cover somewhere.
This is kind of a 1 pocket shot here. If whoever's counting for 1 pocket references.
Well, Steve will be glad of that. Steve will be glad he mentioned it.
If he banks the 1 cross corner, he already didn't. But if he had, with the speed to hang it up, then if it goes, then he's got the combo on the 2 to the 4, and if it doesn't go, then he's behind those balls. Which the bank to hang the ball in the jaws is.
Now, if he's playing a double bank here for safety, but he's got to miss the 7. He's got to push this 1 ball slightly, but miss the 7.
I don't think the 7 is a problem. I think the 6 could be.
Oh, see, the commentator's eye gets it right again.
Oh, I was wrong about what shot he was playing anyway.
Yeah, I knew he was trying to play the double bank there. That's why he called that top pocket, just in case.
Well, I thought it was the double bank with a stop shot to use the 8 as cover, though. I didn't realize he was trying to get back down here by cutting the ball.
Well, the 1 ball, I think he can get enough of that.
He's called it.
He's just going to be well hampered here, I think, with this 4 ball. See, the problem with that is he's got to try and keep this tip of the cue fairly central, which it looks as if it is.
Yeah, this will swerve the ball quite a bit if he hits it off center. He's taken all of his time on it. Can't blame him. Very tough shot.
Now he needs to get a little brush through, and he hasn't got it.
No, he found the 10 again.
Yeah.
This time I didn't see it.
It's still worth a call in the 4 ball here because you go to the rail, cut the 2 onto. He hasn't called it though. I thought he would have been playing the rail and calling the 4 here just in case.
I would agree. Didn't go anyway.
I'm surprised he didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't, because if he had accidentally made that ball, then he'd have a shot on the 2. But without calling it, then it's Vince's shot on the 2.
Now this 3 ball could end up on top of the 5, so he's got to watch the pace in this shot. If he just, yeah, he's going to hit the 3. He might brush off the top side of the 3 and end up with the 3 into the corner past the 4. No, he has hit it full, and he's going to have to call the combo, I would think.
That was a good call. The carom, I think, maybe from here.
Well, I think
I would play the carom. I think you can do it at a soft speed where you're still going to have the 3 in the opposite corner.
I don't like that so much. I think the combo's a lot easier. He's got it.
What do you think?
He's got a shot. What do I know?
He ended up really good on the 3 because the cue ball came out a little bit too.
Right, so this is digging back across the table between the 8 and the 7. For the look
Make
of
sure
it,
you get it back further than the 7.
That's perfect. Now he needs to be on the top rail if he can. He wants that nice angle.
Well, he's play the 7 up table also, or
did you want to stun right up the right hand side? No.
No, I think just stun a couple inches.
Just going to come across from the other side.
Lots of options apparently. So now he'll draw back for the 8 up, I think.
Well, he's looking good at the moment for the 2-rack lead again.
He made sure he didn't actually accidentally overdraw it behind the 9. But he did get a little angle where this is just missable.
Now, just a quick reminder to those watching, of any of you who maybe dropped in, this is the semi-final. Spectre Dawn is waiting in the final. That will obviously still have to be arranged. The finals are raced to 21. And there'll be a similar problem if Vinces gets to the final in terms of the time zone difference. In fact, it'll actually be slightly worse, because if he is in the part of the world that 2 or 3 guys are saying he is, if he's in Taiwan, he's going to be another hour further ahead of the UK than he is of Sweden. In goes the 10, and the lead does go to 2 again. So Albinario's on the rack here to stay in touch.
These guys are playing pool the right way.
It's not looking good. And this, well, obviously the 1 ball, but I think, is he going to just take his medicine here and drop out past the 9, you know, so that you can see the cut in the 2, or is he going to let this run?
No, it's 3 rails.
Because this is doomed to failure here, because there's a lot of traffic that can get in his way here.
No, it's natural. 3 rails toward the 8.
Let's see if he can come out good. He looks as if he's coming out good.
Mind.
And he's going to have a cut. Now,
is he going to clip the 10, or is he going to miss it?
Is he going to try and bump the 5, or is he going to try and just stun down the table so he comes past the 9, or play inside the 9? I don't know whether he can hold this.
I prefer to bump the 10 going forward. Yeah, just
well,
like
he has held it, and he is in the gap.
Yep.
That'll do it.
And now just come back out into the middle of the balls again, toward the rack area.
And the alarm bells might start ringing here for Albinario, because this is Vinces' rack to lose now, the way he's set up here.
Well, the more both players are running out, which is what they're doing right now, the more important the break gets. And Albinario's break is what lost him this rack.
Well, his breaks sort of deserted him again. He had a couple of successful breaks, but he's sticking with the same one again. I would like to see him change it up, just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's the sake of doing it. The thing is, the reason you change a brake that's not working in real life is because there are little divots in the table, and you know the conditions are a certain way in the room, and there is a consistency that you can't necessarily see in how the balls are racking that you need to find with experimentation on the brake, and that's, you know, part of braking well in real life. In this game, the conditions are always exactly the same, and there are no divots on the table. The rack
Yeah.
is literally random.
Yeah,
So you're not
but
finding the pattern
but for the
because it's random.
psychological benefits are for the player alone, that he might just achieve a little bit more success by moving somewhere else and braking. He doesn't
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to put
there's
it this way. He doesn't want to leave it too late. If he sticks with the same one and it starts working again, fine. But if it doesn't, he could find it's too late to change.
oh,
Well,
this got real tough.
you never know. As Vin
Not
says,
sure. He says terrible, and it was. I'm not sure exactly which route he was trying for, but he definitely didn't get it. He's got a bank, though.
well, he should get this 9 out of 10.
I don't know about 9 out of 10. Good 6.5 out of 10 anyway.
Yeah, buried that. Where's the cue ball going? He's fine. So it's now a 3 rack gap. And Albinario back to the brake. Let's see what he does. Is he going to stick with it? Yeah.
Coldest Pillow says, "Why not screw
3
back?"
and
But
6.
I've already forgotten what angle he had. So.
And well, this is a nippy little cut in the one. He's probably have to come down table here and take his medicine here and play this cue ball back up the table into the same pocket.
Yeah, he can't just hold it, so he'll zigzag back and forth, I think. And yes, same pocket in that case. We'll see. Yeah, he's hitting a high ball, so I think that's what he's doing.
Needs to miss the bump. Needs to miss the bump. Oh dear. It's not going well here.
Yeah. Is the gap between the 4 and 8, does that make this kick natural? No, it doesn't. He has to spin this over too. So this is a tall order. I think I'd kick off the other rail. You know, down below the 10.
Caught the pocket.
Yeah. I think I would have gone the other way there.
Well, Ben says, ball in hand. Now, the obvious problem is getting away from this 7 ball to get up for the 8. And with the 7 ball being adjacent to the 9, that's not always a guarantee. So it's a good chance here, but it's not. Now, why doesn't he play? If he's got the angle, he should be running into this 7 and 9 right now. If he has the angle, let's have a look.
I think he's a little straight for that.
Yeah, well, he could still go to the rail and spin it and try and get a bump, but he's not risking it, so he's happy with the way things are. Let's see if this is going to work out for him. Because if I had any sniff of a chance to get a bump in that 9 and 7, I would have played it, knowing that I was still going to have a shot in the 5. Right, so
he actually got on the right side of the 7.
He's on it.
That's touchy because the 9 is right there. He
letting it run out. It needs to keep going.
He leaned on his excellent touch there, and it served him well. I would have played to the other side of the 7 because I wouldn't have trusted myself to get there. And then, as you said, the 9 would have made it very hard to get on the 8.
Oh, needs to get this. This is not finished perfect.
It's a little awkward. I dig down with low left and come 1 rail back and forth across the table, I think, is what I would like to do. See, he hasn't put much left on it. See, I like to use more left than draw here because you can draw it into the side pocket. You can't left it into the side pocket.
He's played that well. Well, Albinario's in deep doo-doo. He's 4 behind. And Tell a lie. What am I talking about? It's Albinario at the table.
Yes.
Everything
that was
feels hard
Vince
today,
who-
says Albie.
Well, it does feel that way against a good player usually. But yeah,
Well,
also,
you know that everything ramps up when you know that the guy that you're playing is well capable of taking a rack out if you give him any sniff.
and there's plenty of variance in the actual difficulty of the runouts based on how the balls lay. You know, the game is not always the same level of tough.
Well, why did I think Vince says was at the table? That's more my worry. Why did I think he was at the table?
He had the thin cut on the 1 that he was going back and forth for the 2. He accidentally bumped into the 8 and 10, got hooked, and then missed the kick, and it was Albie ever since
Right,
then.
that's where I went wrong. Now, the handy thing is that the 6 ball's down this end of the table, but the 5 ball's up top. So if you can get away from that 5 down, and the 8 ball's sort of a bit of an interference where that's
the 8 ball is the story of the rack, I think. It doesn't go.
But if he can get out onto this 7, he can get a bump on that 8 and 9. So the 7's very adjacent and handy. So that gives you at least an opportunity if you can get good one way or another on this 7.
Yeah. If possible, I would rather have broken him out off the 5 or the 6. I never like to play a breakout on the last ball, you know, before the one I'm breaking out. Don't like to use the 7 to free up the 8 because it's hard to break it out and get position on it at the same time. Now, sometimes you don't really have the luxury of choosing.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen The Office. I've seen all the outtakes on YouTube because they're the funniest bit of it, I think.
Plenty of That's What She Said jokes. Is that what we're referencing here?
I don't know. I don't know what Coldest Pillow's talking about.
Michael Scott on the American Office certainly likes a That's What She Said joke. I don't know about Ricky Gervais on
Oh, are you talking about the American version? I've never seen that, and I'm never likely to see it either. That I think that's pretty good where he's finished.
What's Ricky Gervais's character name on the British version? I've forgotten.
Oh, I haven't a clue.
All right. Well, he got great on that ball against all odds. I think he was probably planning to leave himself a breakout angle, but he never got one. So he pulled out once again.
Just to keep running.
His turn to lean on his talent with getting the cue ball into the right spot. David Brent, that was it. Cobra's there. Does he like a That's What She Said joke as much as Michael Scott on the American version does?
Well, Vince says there's definitely 3 racks in front. He's definitely got a ball, and he's definitely on the 1, and he'll be down in the 2. And the 4 ball's wide open. The 5 ball's handy. Down for the 6.
He's a favorite to get up to 9-5 here.
Yeah. Now, yeah, the angle he had, he could just force the stun across and get over the right side of this 2. Now, does he want to try and get higher up on this 4? Or can he make sure that he's not interfering with the 8 when he hits this 4?
You don't want to hit the 8. Ooh,
yeah, he's trying to get right up there.
Either.
He's trying to get right on there.
Oh, I don't like that choice.
Oh, he's got the shot straight across to the rail again for the 5.
Wow. I think he got pretty lucky to actually end up on this ball. I don't think he was trying for that line.
It was a risky shot, but how it's panned out is he's perfect. That he's not interfering with the 8. He's well away from that. He's good in the 5. Nice angle to drop down in the 6. So this is the clincher, how he gets on the 6. If he gets on the 6, then he should be home and dry in this rack. And that ain't it.
Even if he gets bad on the 6, I think he should be home and dry in this rack.
Well, this is bad.
We'll be putting that to the test.
This is not good. No, the only thing I've ever really watched is I've never watched Baywatch. I can assure you that. The only thing I still watch is MASH. I've seen MASH about probably 15 times all round because they keep showing it. As soon as it finishes, they start showing it from the beginning again.
What about the movie?
Well, I think I saw some of the MASH movie. That was who the hell was in that? Elliot Gould was in it, and what's his name?
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland. I've seen bits of that. I think if you watched all of the MASH series, I think the pilot episode, Father Mulcahy was another character. He was another person. It wasn't the Father Mulcahy who was in it right through the series. There was a different character in it.
Surely he watched Blackadder.
Yeah, I've seen all the episodes of Blackadder. Yeah. The first series was actually the worst. It was the worst one. In fact, the first series was so bad that they thought of binning it. The BBC thought of binning the whole idea. Well, Albinario will have his opportunity. And he's quite close to there. This is by far not easy, this. He's got to let this. I mean, how's he going to get to this 7?
Yeah, if the 8 were somewhere different, I think you just roll forward to the vicinity of the 9 and take the cut. But I don't think there's really any profit in that with the 8 where it is.
This is a big shot.
So he's going to draw back.
And that's very well played. That is very well played.
Really
Top draw.
Nice.
Well, the bonus for Albinario. Well, is it a bonus or is it a millstone hanging around his neck? He's going to win this rack and he's going to be breaking again. And I'd still worry that he's not changing things up a wee bit in this break. He's breaking from the centre all the time. I would just change it up. I don't know why, but I think you've got to think your luck has to change. But he's sticking with the same thing, slightly off the centre diamond to the right. Seven ball's going to go. So he's had that success. I don't know whether it was that time, but this one ball looks tight. What the hell have I done with my camera there? Hang on, reset. Well, if one ball goes, I think he'll just drop this in dead weight and just leave the angle on the 2. But look at where the 3 is. He's got to leave this a high
not
cut.
A full pocket. Well, what about this? What about banking it by the 3? And if it grazes the 3 on the way in, you might free it up.
Well, he could also just stick the 3 right next to the 6 even more, couldn't he?
Yes. That's another possibility. Shooting the 1 into a partial pocket makes me nervous.
Yeah. So he's just going to do, I think, what I said. He's just going to drop this 2 in and leave the cut. Problem with that though is he's really just cutting this and hoping the cue ball's going to run down for some sort of shot on the 4. If he does that.
Well, especially since the cue ball is going to hit the 6 after contact with the rail, which means it's going to hit it pretty full, and it's going to be tough.
Well, you know something,
where it's going to go.
I don't think he's even going to. Is he going to cut this, or is he just going to bump it up the table and try and keep the cue ball somewhere near the 6?
Well, he'd have to avoid the double kiss doing that.
This is really dodgy.
He played the cut. I guess he hit the 6 after
that 4 ball does go. It's tight, but it goes. That's the 8.
I don't think you can see it though.
And he can't see it. He's hooked.
Calling it there anyway. Oh, maybe now he's jumping the edge. Maybe it's time for the jump the edge shot. The 6 is, I think, a favorable distance away from the cue ball in order to get over it.
Well, big shot for Albie coming up.
And he should be able to go around 2 rails for the 5 in the same pocket or the side if it goes in. Yep, he is jacking up for the jump.
Oh, he's got it now. Has it got the legs? Yes, it has. Yep. At least he's got a cut. But it's tight into the side, but he can play it to the jaw and it will drop.
He can, and he doesn't need to hit the cue ball any harder than that to get on the 6. So
now, how brave is he going to be? Is he going to go into the 9-10 gap?
No, just stop here.
Well, the angle he's got is perfect. He should be able to do that.
I never would. I would drop it. He did. He did, but I never would have. I would have just stayed on that side of the 9 by jacking up and stunning it, a few inches.
Little dink roll through the rail, 9 in the side, hold for the 10. So he's heading in the right direction, Albinario. He's going to be back within 1. Vince says he's got a wee bit of pressure on now, even though he's still in the lead, but he's got a wee bit of pressure to maintain that lead.
Yeah, it's the same pressure he's been under all match, which is that just at any time Albin can run out a few times in a row on him and close a gap right up.
Now the 9s are gone, and the 1 is on. The 2's in the middle of the table, and the 3 is a problem.
The 3 is the big deal. What's he got?
Well, that 3 isn't going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it really isn't.
Well, if he lands good in the 2, he could
play for a breakout, which is what he is trying to do. He's got an angle where he can do it.
Now, straight stun onto them.
I think so, because if he tries to go to the rail, I think he's going to miss them. Yep.
However, and he hasn't got the little roll. He can duck for cover.
It's very hard to hit those balls in a way where you were guaranteeing that the 3 would end up being a good shot.
That 4 ball's a nice little target. Hasn't got
behind it.
The 10 ball going to work. Nope.
Not really. So Albie's got the chance to resafe him here. He really wanted to be behind that 4. Would have changed the probable outcome of this safety battle quite a bit. Yeah, Paul agrees with me. He's got sense. He wouldn't have played for that gap either.
Yeah, but when you've got the commentator's eye, you can see the angle was perfect. And as long as you've got every faith in your mouse, you can just dink into that gap. The gap was fine. Well, this isn't good, though. This is not good, is it? Oh, no, well, it still isn't good, because Vince says he's making this every day.
He is. There's a chance he could lose control of the 3 because he has to cut the 4 a little bit with the 3.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what pace he plays this at. He might play this at pocket pace just so that the 3 ball doesn't run away too far. He might.
Then the cue ball's rolling forward, so I don't think that would.
Yeah, so he's played it in a sort of medium pace just so the 3 ball doesn't go away too far, and he's got a shot.
He got a shot out of it. He's using a little left to go 2 rails. Around the 6 for the 5. Oh, he overhit that.
Well, it needs to spin.
4 rails, I guess?
It needs to keep going. That's not bad.
Go 4 rails. Did he mean to? I guess he must have meant to at that pace. I don't know why.
Well, he'll be somewhere over near the side pocket here, I would imagine.
Yeah, or he could put a little right on it. Oh, this is in between. I was going to say he could have put a little right on it to go past the 8 to shoot the 6 into the side.
Well, this couldn't be any tougher. It's a dodgy cut. He's got to work the cue ball as well to get to this 7. So this is about as tough as you could ask.
And cue ball
And
just
he's played
requires a
it
little
perfect.
left. Beautiful. And is he? Yeah, he can hold for the 8. He doesn't need to go all the way up and down.
You think so?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to check it out. And that's why he's hitting
He
it.
decided to anyway. I would have held for the 8. I hate hitting the ball hard in this game. The cut angles get so unpredictable for me.
Well, Vinces was asked a question there, and he's come up with the goods. He keeps his 2-rack lead, and we are running out of racks now. Albinario needs something to change fairly rapidly here now. Is he going to take the initiative here and do something on his break? Change it up, Albi. You know it makes sense. No.
He's not going to.
And he's got a ball, and he's got a shot, and he's got a good table.
Yeah, I don't see the problem here.
Well, 2, 3, 4 back up the table for the 5.
He needs to get on the right side of the 5. If he, if he came up near where the 3 is for the 5, that'd be no good. So he's got to play one good positional shot and a bunch of medium ones.
Well, is this a forward and around the corner now?
Low left, because then
he's
he's coming
coming
down
back.
the line. See, he'll come into the line on the 5 where he's rolling. Well, he didn't really hit it. But imagine that cue ball had gone 3 more feet in that direction. It would have been rolling right down the shot line for the 5.
Nice angle on the 7, up into the table. All is good at the moment. But Albinario is just waiting on that one dry break from Vinces. But it needs to happen. It needs to happen, or it's just going to run out and score as it is. What
Pretty
twist
straight,
and turn is to come?
Yeah, just use the power stun to get over. And this is that same low right shot. And just delicately uses the rail to come back.
Well, again, every rack's a big rack, and it's a big rack for either player and for different reasons. But the 2 ball has gone in, and has he got an edge of that one? I think he can pot. I think he can pot this. I think this is a very good line to pot this 1 ball. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that goes. Although he doesn't look as if he's trying to. Is he trying to pot it?
I think he is, and I think he can.
Because I think he can go a bit closer to the 4, but maybe he has got enough. Oh yeah, no, not a doubt. Not a doubt.
All right, well, this is a chance then. He can roll. The 4 is a little squirrely.
Yeah, now, is he going to catch that 6 or just go past it? In which case, if he doesn't get out far enough the table, he'll leave himself a little bit of a dodgy angle in this 4.
I think if he used full top, he would hit the 6. And
now it does go the other corner, so is he going to try and get back across? He's trying to get back across.
Oh, does it go in the side?
It does go in the side, believe it or not. It goes in off the jaw.
Oh, and this is a nice angle because he can just roll forward into the gap.
Didn't even need to go at the jaw. Oh,
he's okay.
He's just okay.
Ooh, He cheated that to the max to make sure he didn't hit the 6.
Well, just got to have to jack up and hold this cue ball again, stun this 6 in.
Yep.
Oh, well. Used all of the pocket.
He did, but he's still in line. Maybe roll gently forward for the 8 in the corner, or stun, in fact.
Well, there's not any sort of visible signs of Vince's cracking here. Everything's been pretty solid so far. And he's going to be in double figures.
He says it's so hard. Is he really worried about this shot?
Well, you know, psychologically it just plays in the mind. When you know you've still got to get this into the hole. But not a doubt, right in the heart of the pocket. So, Albinario can only do what he's got to do, and that's get a ball and keep control of this table and run out if he can. Can't do anything about the scoreboard until Vince steps in, does him a favour now. And this isn't helping himself. He's dry.
Favor the other way.
And he'll be on the 1. Now the 3's back. He's got to come back off that 2 over to the 10 for the 3 on the other side.
Yeah, the 3 has pockets, but none of them are the side pocket he'd be playing it in if the 7 weren't there.
And well, he's going to have to stun this.
No, I think
what's he doing? Is he?
A little spin.
Yeah, he's got the angle to play the spin, so that's good. And it all looks well. I suppose again it's from the 5 to the 6. So there's loads of room to get to the 6. So there's not very much evidence here of where things can go wrong. And Albinario's got to be in the same frame of mind looking at this table.
I mean, he almost got dead straight on the 5. That's where it could have gone wrong, but it didn't. He's got enough angle.
Actually saved the scratch there, maybe.
Yeah, if there was a scratch.
Because that cue ball had the pace to get to the pocket. I don't know whether it was taking the exact line, but hitting the 9 ball did him no harm. Well, Albinario might just be losing hope here that Vince says is going to make a blunder.
This whole tournament, his break has really done him no favors, Albinario.
Yeah.
And this rack is one more data point there.
So 2 more to go for Vince. The gap is 3. And Vince breaking as well.
How much luck is the break, though? Coldest Pillow asks. I mean, a lot. There's a lot of luck involved in it.
Well, that's a slight favour.
That randomizes the gaps.
Slight favour for Albinario. Vince has come up dry for once. Well, Albinario straight off has got to thin cut the 1. Not come in behind the 9. And he's good for that. He's on the 3. 4 right ball has got. Well, it's limited and it doesn't go past the 8, obviously, but we should be able to get to the 4. Now,
I think the 5 is the tricky ball.
The 5 ball. Well, he's really got to get on the other side by the 7 to play the 5 into the other corner.
He does, and it's not.
That's going to make or break this rack.
It's not trivial to get on the 4 in a way that makes it easy to get over there for the 5. I think he could draw back to try to get straight in on the 4 on the side here.
Now, that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. The only thing he'll do here is hook himself behind the 9 unless he bumps the 9. But he can stun this in, and he should be good in the 5.
Yeah, I would try to get the line to bump the 9 because then you can't get hooked. That is the line he got.
Well, that's fine. He might have to tweak this with a bit of right if he wants to come away from the 7, or does he want to come around the corner?
I would go around the corner with low left here.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yeah.
Sitting pretty good to come back out between the 7 and 9 and then past the 6 for the side. Ooh, he didn't get past it.
That needs to have legs. He's going to be in no man's land here. This is not what you want.
I think he was playing for the side, but he...
Dodgy cut into the side. And now, you've got to be careful of the pace in this. You obviously want the pace to get the 6 to the hole. And he might be left with this 7-8 combo. In fact, I think that's all he's going to be left with, unless he's going to let this cue ball run out up top and hopefully he gets lucky in the 7. I don't think Albinario is of that sort of nature. He wants to be playing a positive shot to have the shot. Well, he's got the shot, but he's hooked himself.
Yep.
He's went the other way, cut it into the corner instead. And now he's looking at a big disaster here unless he can keep this safe. He's going to be hard pushed to do that. You can only see partial part of the 7. Maybe the best he can do is push it forward to the short rail, send it to the long rail, and just hopefully the 9 will prevent the bank. That's what he's trying. But it's up to Vinces now.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to use the 10 for cover. Didn't get any cover. Didn't leave the bank like a real easy angle either, though.
Well, he could bank this into the top right-hand corner. Vince says he wants to go all out for it.
He's calling the 8.
He's playing the stun. He's playing the stun off the 7, I think. Yeah, big stun.
That's tough from there.
Yeah, he's not jacking up to play it. So is he trying to just spin it to the rail? Well, I don't know.
One.
First of all, if he was going to play that 8 ball, he had to jack up to stun the cue ball into that 8. And Albinario has been handed a gift here. That's the first mistake that Albinario needs from Vinces.
Certainly is.
But he's going to need another 1 or 2 here. The odds are stacked against Albi getting out of this hole. But that's one big mistake from Vinces. He still might get away with it though. So Albinario can only sit and watch. Vinces to get to the hill.
Well, this is Albi breaking.
Oh shit, is it Albi breaking now? Well, I'm losing track here. Tell I haven't had my afternoon nap. Because I always say, whenever I get home and I have something to eat, then I usually have a nap.
However, once again, it's dry. So he is going to be sitting and watching while...
Well, it's a bit late to get annoyed. It's a bit late to get annoyed with your break, Albi. You should have changed it up a long before now.
I mean, I guess you're right, but if he had changed it up, where's the guarantee it would have worked any better?
But then again, just change it up for the hell of doing it and see what happens. You've got to try and do things to try and change your luck. You know, do whatever you can to help yourself.
I mean, yeah.
I'd be going left and right with the break. I'd be going left side, right side, down the middle. He's been down the middle, slightly off line all through the match. Why not go left and right and try and just do something?
Well, here's a philosophical question for you, Hugh. You're betting $200 a flip on coin flips with a guy, and you've been calling heads the whole time, and you just lost 8 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to call tails now because it's obviously coming up tails?
No, well the odds on that. I think
Or
the
do
odds.
you need to call heads because heads is due?
No, well, if you've been calling heads and you've lost like 8 in a row, then the obvious thing you do is you still keep calling heads because you know fine well that it's going to change. You know, the streak's going to change to the other direction. But the break, I think the break Birchpool is a bit different than that, though.
Do you know what the objective truth is to the question I asked, though? Is that it does not matter.
Well, psychologically it matters.
Whichever
That's what
thing
I'm
you
talking
do,
about.
whichever thing you do, the next flip is still the same 50-50 that all the previous flips were.
Well, if I'm Albinario, I don't want to come out of this match and say, well, I did, you know, can Albinario come out of the match and say, well, I did everything on my break to try and help myself? No, he can't say that because he hasn't. He's stuck with the same thing all night. And I'm all for just changing it up and trying to get the luck to change. You never know. But he's far too late now.
I mean, you're definitely correct that he didn't try everything. And it's definitely more complicated than a 50-50 coin flip.
I mean, to be honest with you, the way Albinario's break's been all through the tournament, if I was him and this was me tonight, I would be changing up every time. I'd be just doing it. All the breaks I had, I'd be going left, right, down the middle, left, right, down the middle. And Albinario's break has cost him dear, because Vince says he's now breaking for the match. Well, all through the tournament, Steve and me have been talking about the fact that Albinario's break is going to be the thing that's going to let him down in the end, and it looks very much like that is going to be proved to be right. All in the break, 6 is gone, 1 up past the 2. Now, can he spin this cue ball right up off the 2 onto the short rail and get a bump in the 3? Or does he try and play a really dinky shot and get right behind the 3? Because the best he's going to get there's a 3-4 combo. He's got to try and get a bump.
I think probably bump it.
Here we go.
It's really delicate to try to get on the short side from here. Yeah,
got the bump.
It was
and
not much of a shot.
Well, he's in control here. He can stick Albie right on it here if he wants.
Yeah, roll up on the 9. It's looking pretty appealing from here. Good control. He should be able to get it frozen or basically frozen. Is he banking this ball instead? He lowered his tip down to a stun position. I think the 8 could be in the way of a bank shot.
Well, there's no way this is banking. Yeah, I think he just played it safety.
Yeah. If by some miracle the bank had gone, he'd be perfect on the 4, though. So makes sense that he called it.
Well, Albinario needs a roll of the ball here. He's got to hit the right side as we look at this 3 ball. And he's hit the wrong side. And he's left it on.
He did.
I think it's time for this.
Yeah, he needs a bad mistake from Vince. Otherwise, he's done.
It's time for this.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, let's see. Bad mistakes are always possible. Let's find out.
Don't want to be on the rail.
Ball on the rail. A mistake.
Got to dig in a wee bit with this, I think. Yeah. I think my voice is going to go before the end of this match.
Oh, he's going back and forth. I think I would have jacked up.
Oh, he's in bedhead territory. I need a drink.
It's all right. I got this. It's a bedhead cut. And you could get hooked behind
and
the 9.
There's a mistake.
Make it. Oh.
Well, that's 2 favours that Vince says is done late in the match.
There's a bit of a multi-stage bad mistake there. He left himself on the rail, and then he chose.
Excuse me.
He
What
chose
boys?
arguably wrong between the two options from there.
You mean to say you don't know Arnold Schwarzenegger when you hear him? Is Arnold Schwarzenegger not reached the Philippines?
I don't think he was.
Hasta la vista, baby. Terminator 2, that's from. Yeah, Chimpy's predicted it. I mean, change it up for God's sake, Albinario. Now's the time to change up. Do not stick with the same crap. Last chance saloon. Go to the left, go to the right, but don't go down the middle.
And he's gonna dance with the girl that brought him.
Here we go. Here we go.
He cut
Two
the ball.
balls gone. Two ballers gone.
He cut the one. And he got
Good.
a ball, but...
Well, now he's going to be brave. He's going to call the one and bump it in off the 6, is he? No, he's pushing out. He's not going to get crazy.
You can't see that shot.
How tight is it? Is it tight? Oh, it's way too tight. He's hooked.
I don't think you can see the one at
He's
all.
absolutely hooked. Well, he's got to play the jump then and call the one.
He's called push out. He might change his mind to a jump, but I think he will probably push out.
In fact, I think he's up the proverbial creek without a paddle here. And well, Vince says could play the combo.
Not sure if he intended to tempt him with the combo, or if he intended to follow the cue ball a little bit more, where the 10 ball would have taken the combo away. But looks like Albie is going to be tempted into it. Wait, no, sorry. That was Vince passing it back to Albie. And Albie plays the combo.
Yep.
Successfully. He's thin on the 1. He's got to do something to get on the 3. But if he does, that's the last of the problems, I think.
And that's good.
Beautifully done.
Now he can just. Now this is a wee bit dodgy, I think. This 4 ball. I mean, okay, he can go on the 4, but
if he slow rolls the 3, he's on the right side of the 4.
That'll
if you
do.
stun it though, you're not really on any side of it. He's straight
That'll
in.
do. I think he's okay.
See, if he had just barely tapped that ball in, I think the cue ball would have rolled forward 1 or 2 ball widths, and he'd have the right angle on the 4 to be straight in on the 5 now, instead of being cutting it and going away from the 7.
Well,
but he's got the delicate touch, doesn't he?
The only drama we're going to have coming up next is Vince says either scratching in the break or being dry, leaving a good table for Albinario to run out. That's the perfect scenario for a classic finish. Let's see what happens. The further it goes, the easier it is. Drop the 9 in, not a problem. And fingers crossed if you're Albinario. That's all you can do.
Ready to predict 12-11 with Vince breaking.
Get the prayer shawl out, the rosary beads out.
Well, that's the thing when your opponent's on the hill and you've got several to go in an alternate break format, is that every other rack you just have to hope that they don't break and run.
That's dry, isn't it?
No, he made a ball.
Did he get a ball?
2. Yep.
Yeah, the 2's gone. Well, the 7's going to be the killer.
7's not in a good place, is it?
But the 7's in a good place to be ducking up behind the 8. and
Yeah,
nailing Albinario. Or is that the 4 ball or is it the 8? It's the 4 ball.
Yeah, no, I think he'll probably, if he plays the 6 and ends up above the 7 there, then he'll have the angle, or he can play for the angle to knock the 7 to the rail down by the 9 and send the cue ball to the back of the 10. I think that's the safety I would be aiming at from here. Or you can try to break him out. If he had a better angle on the 3, he could break him out now with almost guaranteed position on the 4. That would be a good one. Oh, he tried it.
He went for it.
Yeah, he didn't really have the angle where he could go. What you want to be doing is going from where the 9 is toward the 10 and 7, because then you are always going to be on the 4.
Well, he's got a full pocket on this 5 ball, but tell a lie, I'm forgetting about the 4. But I forgot the 4 already. Now,
it's not the 8, Q.
This would be crazy, taking a big risk trying to bump the 7 and 10 now and leave a dodgy cut in the 6. Is he going to do it? He's got the angle, I think. He's going into the side, though, I think.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And a miss. Well, here we go. Albinario's going to have to deal with it.
Well, let's see if Albie plays the shot I called, or if he decides to get a little fancy.
That's now 3 errors by Vinces, and from the 2 errors of Vinces, Albinario's 1 rack from them.
Well, that's a real bad miss from him.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't play that into the corner and try the breakout. It would have been crazy because he would have left himself probably really awkward in the 6.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I would have played it the way he played it, and probably missed.
What's Albinario going to do here? He's got enough angle to get this cue ball spinning, and he needs to spin it tight if he's going to try and do anything.
Well, he might.
He looks like he's going forward. He's going forward to come down. He's got to juice this up big time.
Oh wow!
He's trying to get below it for the top pocket. That is superb. That is absolutely
really
perfect.
Well judged. I don't know how to get that shot.
That is excellent.
That good.
Well, here we go, folks. Let's see if Albinario changes the break. I'll tell you, he's going to regret this if he doesn't, because this could be the one and only time where if he does change it, it will work for him. I'm trying to send him messages telepathically to change his break. Let's see if he does it. I don't think he's listening.
Gonna dance with the one that brought him. He was home and drive. He jacked up earlier.
Right. What's the Betsy sticks for the same thing? Here we go. Breaking for the match, still down the middle, slightly off the line to the middle diamond.
All right, we got a 2 ball in the corner to watch out for.
Now, one interesting thing about this match, we haven't had a scratch in the break, I don't think.
No 2 in the
5
corner.
ball, 9 ball has gone, and he's going to be on the 1. 2 balls available, 3 ball. Oh, now.
Ooh, we've seen this 3 ball by the corner with an obstacle ball before. I think the 8's a little tighter this time, though.
That 3 ball isn't cutting. You can't get to that to cut it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he can really play that without moving something first. Coldest pillows calling Vince. Q's nervous. Well, this is tense stuff. Q, did you mute yourself?
No.
Oh.
I'm not as tense as I'll be at 5 o'clock tonight, I'll tell you that.
Waiting with bated breath.
Right. Well, he's going to be crazy if he cuts this 2 and lets the cue ball run to try and bump anything because the scratch is on. If he does that. But how does he get the cue ball out of there and play a safety? That's my concern.
Yeah, the trouble with the safety is you'd want like the cue ball where the 10 is for a stop shot on the 3. Did he try to play for a bank? There's no bank from here.
That 7 ball is just off the rail.
Or does he know better than us about whether this 3 can be cut? Is he
Well,
play the cut?
he's convinced he can get to this. I'm not convinced he can. Now, that looked legal to me. It looked legal.
So. The game will tell us.
Yeah. Well.
Very nice.
I never spotted that. I didn't think you could get in there, but Albinario obviously thought he could.
He knows this game pretty well, that guy.
So, cut the 4. He needs to. I think he needs to hold the cue ball a wee bit here. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's letting it run out. But now, this is the main thing. The thing with the 7 being tight to the rail, all he has to do is get on the rail and just roll the 7 in and 8 in the side 10. I mean, this is done.
Yeah, it's not so bad from very straight, which he is. I hate these shots when you have any angle. They're so hard to play the frozen
I think
ball.
the first thing he has to do here is punch this in a bit. He wants off the rail. Just a little punch. Well, he stuck it to the rail. He must have the nice angle in the 8. Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, he does.
Well, don't take anything away from Albinario. His break's been crap. But the mistakes, the 3 mistakes from Vince says have cost him dear.
Well,
those towards the end of the match.
You said he needed to change it up on this hill rack. He didn't, and he broke and ran out.
Yeah. Well, Albinario is there again, and that's probably not the player that Spectred On wanted to meet in the final. I don't know, because he's beaten everybody so far, Spectred On, but the one thing is he was doomed to meet either Cobra or Vinces or Albinario again in the final. So it's an Albinario Spectred On final. Well done to him. Well done to Vinces, considering that the last big tournament, as far as I know, that he played in was the one he won in 2019. So he's done very well getting this far.
Well, look at that statistic that neither of us mentioned that entire time, Hugh. Albie's saying the first time he was ahead was when he won.
Yeah. Yeah, he was 2 behind, he was 3 behind. And he still finds a way to win. That's how bloody annoying he is. Right, there we go. So let's have a look at the deadline date. We've got, what's that, March the 7th? Or is that March the 2nd? I can't read it. It's only March the 2nd, so what's the day's date? The 24th, so it's about, it's a week away, at least a week. So the final will be between Spectre Dawn and Albinario. And Albinario, of course, will be out for revenge. And, of course, for the 2 of them guys, there's only an hour's different time zone, so the chances are it will be a reasonable time at some point, whenever that will be. We just need to keep an eye out for it. So there we are, folks. The other thing to have a quick look at, do we want to have a look at the stats? Is it going to be any good reading for Albinario? Because I think there was a good few runouts in that match. Let's have a quick check. Albinario. Why the hell am I up there? Albinario. And it's KYL. Isn't it? It's KYL.
Yeah. And then an I if you need another letter.
MVZ and then delete. There we go. Break stats. Runouts from the break. Albinario had 5, it says 2. Albinario was still worse in terms of the average balls. Not much in it though, to be honest with you. Not a great deal. 66.67 for Vince's, 53.54 for Albie.
So Albie broke 13 times. He made a ball 7 of them, and he ran out 5 of those. So
yeah,
5 out of 7 is a pretty good percentage in terms of running out when you make a ball.
Well, Rax ran 6 for Vince's and 5 for Albinario.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there wasn't a great deal in that there.
Well, that means that Albie didn't run out any of Vince's dry breaks, but Vince ran out several of Albie's dry breaks.
Well, if we look at the overall stats in terms of runouts from the break, you've got Albinario on 19, Cobra on 19. Spectre Dawn can obviously change that total, and Albinario obviously as well. So the two of them should be top of the tree by the end of the tournament, you would imagine. But Albinario overall is 0.74. If you look at Spectre Dawn, I mean, you know, we're talking about Albinario's break. If you look at Spectre Dawn's break, his actual percentage is lower than Albinario's. I think we've overlooked that. You know, so that might be something that could be worked on for Spectre Dawn for the final. You get plenty of time to get some practice in. Right, so my plan was to watch this match, get it done, and go and get dinner. I've only got less than an hour, or just about an hour, to try and get something to eat and get back for week 6 of the leagues. So I think with that, we will call it quits. Thank you to Hairpig for joining us.
Thanks for letting me.
I'm sure Steve will enjoy watching that. Thanks to everybody watching. There won't be a live stream, I hasten to add, because I won't be streaming while I'm playing. Maybe Slim will show up. He's usually working this Saturday, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you later, guys. So take care, and hopefully we can get this final whenever it's set. And we'll see you again soon. Good afternoon.
Have a good one.
See you later.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Good night, ladies.